we're going to start here on an overview on the area. Later on, we're going to continue towards the Good Samaritan Museum. Okay, we're going to look at the findings of the Good Samaritan Museum. We're going to speak about the tradition evolved with that point. Okay, and then later on, we're going to visit on Nebi Musa, and after that in Qasr El Yahud, the baptism site. And from over there, we're going to continue to a visit in a monastery called Dir Hajle, yes, right on the northern part of the Dead Sea. And then from over there, we're going to finish the whole day on an outlook over Jericho, okay, the ancient city of Jericho. So don't be afraid. I'm going to open the maps. And you're going to see everything on the map. And beforehand, we're going to start with a short overview, and then afterwards, I'm going to get you to sit down in the shade. Questions? No questions.
No. St. George.
St. George. Oh yes, of course. You see. Thank you. How could I remember? How could I forget St. George? Okay, the little brother, I call it, of Marsaba. We're going to visit also in an outlook over St. George's Monastery, which is located in the down in the ravine of Prat. Okay, Wadi El Kelk. Okay, so it's going to be another place that we're going to visit. So basically, where we are standing here. Let's go. Let's look towards west, okay? On the western side, okay, we see the mountain range. We see the mountain range of the Judean hills, okay? I understand that you've already had a whole session about different geographical areas of the land of Israel. So we can already understand that we have the main mountain range, okay, the hillside of Judea and Samaria. Okay, here is Jerusalem, and we can clearly see that green area of chains of mountain, which goes all the way up from the northern side, from Nablus, which is Shechem, okay, from the area of Nablus, all the way down to where? Hebron, or the southern part of the mountain of Hebron. Okay, this is the main mountain range of Israel, and we can clearly see it on to the west. You know, towards when we look towards the west, because we're standing somewhere over here. Can you see this opening?
Mm-hmm.
Can you see this opening? We're standing over here. If we're going to put the map on, let's say, according to the different location, different let's say directions. Okay, so we've got Judea and Samaria. We've got over here. See that
desert,
yellow spot? That's the Judean desert. Okay, so we can see that the Judean desert goes all the way from Jerusalem down south, alongside near to the area of the Judean hills, a little bit up north into the Judean of Samaria. Okay, into Samaria, but we can also clearly see that the Judean desert is a little bit lower than the Judean hills. Okay, so what we see on our western side, we see the whole mountain range of Judea and Samaria. On the top, we can clearly see Jerusalem. How can we identify Jerusalem from that point?
Mount of Olives.
What?
Mount of Olives.
The three towers. Can you see the three towers of Jerusalem?
Yeah.
Augusta Victoria.
Russian candle.
and Hebrew University.
The Augusta Victoria.
Okay.
And the Hebrew University.
Does the Mount Scopus count?
Okay, the right one, or the northern tower,
And the Russian Tower.
is the Hebrew University
Yeah.
of Jerusalem. Okay. The middle one
Augusta Victoria.
is Augusta Victoria. Okay.
The third
German church that was built in the beginning of the 20th century. Okay. And the left one looks like a candle, pointy building, is the Church of Ascension, the Pravoslav Russian Church of Ascension. So you have this marking of three towers towards Ascension, towards west, okay, which we can see it from every corner of the Judean desert. We can clearly see it from every corner of the desert. this is a marking point, which is a very important one, because when you're going to visit with your tourists in different areas around Jerusalem, it doesn't matter which side, okay? We can also stand in Nebi Samuel, if you've been to Nebi Samuel yet.
Yes.
Okay, we can stand in Nebi Samuel and we can identify the three towers of, which mount is it?
Hadar.
On the top of what mountain?
Mount of Olives.
Mount of Olives. Okay? Mount Scopius is the same mountain range as, it's the same topographical mountain range of Mount of Olives. Okay, so the northern part of Mount of Olives is the Hebrew University of Jerusalem, and then the Faculty for Law School, okay, which was founded in 1925. Then afterwards I repeat myself, Augusta Victoria. And then the left one, we can see a white tower, pointy tower. It's the Church of Ascension, the place where, according to the tradition, the Christian tradition, this is where Jesus went up to the heavens from. Okay, the point of ascension. So we can clearly see, as we stand here in this small gap, we can see that there is a small gap here, and this is the exact place where we're standing. It's a geological gap. איך אתה אומר קר? אני מבקשת את השאלות האלה.
סינקלינה?
סינקלינה, לא, אבל אני מדברת על קר, לא סינקלינה בעיקרה. יש הבדל, okay? The syncline of Wadi al-Kelt, that's the same one, okay? And we're heading and we're looking towards west, towards Jerusalem. So we can clearly see the Mount of Olives. On the right to the area of where the Hebrew University is, we see a place which is very, very crowded, inhabited crowdedly, with a lot of neighborhoods and a lot of buildings. This is the northern part of Jerusalem, the area of already Aram, Chizme, towards Chizme, yes, Shuafat, Aram, Chizme, and then and a little bit up north, the area of which goes towards Ramallah. Okay, so we can clearly see that the top of the mountain range of the Judean and Samarian hill is very, very crowded and full with population. Also towards down south, okay, from Mount of Olives, we see very populated, very crowded areas which are built intensively in that area, all the way down to which city? The city of Bethlehem. Okay. Yes, El Azariah is from the east. I'm talking about to the west, to the southern part of Jerusalem. Southern part of Jerusalem we see here. Okay. Bethlehem, a little bit further south.
How do you
is
say
Hebron. Okay. So in a way we can say that the whole area of the top of the mountain range is fully populated. Okay. And as we go down towards east, we're going down towards the area of the Judean desert. So we are located at the moment in an area which is called the borderline of the desert. What does it mean, the borderline of the desert? There is an area where the amount of rain that goes down, yes, that drops each winter time, yes, is the borderline between what we identify as a desert and a non-desert area. Do you know what line it is?
Yeah.
What is the amount of water? The amount of water?
200 millimeter.
200 millimeters. So we have what is called the line of 200 millimeters. The line of 200 millimeters, we can see it around that line between the yellow and the green area.
It's not
yes, it's roughly, but the 200 millimeters line is a little bit further up to the west, is where a little bit after Zaim. We are in the area of the borderline of 200 millimeters. What does it mean practically? If we're going to stand here during the winter time, we're going to see the hills around us, a little bit further behind us towards west, are covered with this green grass. Yes. And the hills which are going to be a little bit towards east from us, you can look to behind you, look behind you. You can see all these area of the Judean desert. This is already an empty desert. What do we find in the borderline of the desert? Okay, what do we find?
The green and the yellow.
Okay, so we still have villages, We still have people living in it.
Bedouin.
Okay,
Nomadic people?
very good nomadic culture. Throughout the history of the Judean desert, around that line, specific line, there used to be some kind of a nomadic culture that used to be here, okay, up until today, basically.
All right.
Okay, and what do nomads do? The nomadic culture is, what does it mean? What do people do? They don't, in some areas they are able to cultivate the land a little bit, and the more they go towards west, they can cultivate the land. The more they go towards east, yes, they grow sheep. Okay, they are shepherds. Okay, not farmers, shepherds. Okay, it's a different kind of culture, and during the winter time they will go further east with their sheep. They will just go down east, and with the summer, when summer comes over, yes, they will continue towards west. Okay, a little bit to the higher areas where it's much more convenient to spend the summertime. Okay, so we're able still to see a very, very ancient nomadic culture that used to be all around that line. By the way, we're standing here, yes, near to Jerusalem. If we go further a little bit south towards Bethlehem, the borderline between Bethlehem and the Judean desert is it's called the land of shepherds. Who was a very, very important, famous shepherd who lived in the outskirts of Bethlehem, right on the border with the Judean desert? Who?
Amos, Prophet Amos.
Okay. Okay, there were a lot of prophets in that area, but King David, okay, the shepherd, the most important shepherd is King David, and King David and his brothers and also his cousins are considered to be heroes. Why heroes? Because the nomadic culture had to be a very, very heroic kind of culture, because they had to deal with the desert. And the desert is a tough area to deal with, okay? You have to deal with the climate. You have to deal with the animals, the wild animals that were here, okay? Especially in ancient times, not like today. Maybe you had to deal with, just violent people that go all around, because this is an empty area, has no security. So King David, his brothers, his cousins are considered to be in the holy book, are considered to be heroes, tough guys. Okay, so of course the symbolism around being a shepherd is also very important for the story of King David. Okay, so this is what we see. Another thing that we can see from that point, and I want you to look carefully. So we see the whole mountain range of the Judean hills, and a little bit up north the Samaritan hills. Okay, we can clearly see the topographic fall from about 850 meters above sea level, okay, and all the way down to the rift, to the Syrian African rift, to the valley, which we can clearly see it behind us. To what height is it?
Minus 400.
437.